My name is William Steele. I am an author. I write books about true crime and my experiences with the criminal justice system. And years ago, I had some encounters with it, and I've changed my ways. And now I write books about those experiences and criminal justice and some of the characters I met along the way.
And what's the name of your book? I know you put some info in the chat, but
right.
Everybody doesn't
Yes, my first book is Sex and a Serial Killer, My Bizarre Times with Robert Durst, and it's in my authored whatever description, your introduction on my cover page, and it's my insider's take on Robert Durst. He's going on trial right now in Los Angeles for murder of Susan Berman, and I knew him for years, and I saw some of the weird things he did, and so I wrote a book exposing a lot of that.
So how do you think the trial's going so far?
I think Lewin, the cold case prosecutor, is an excellent prosecutor. However, some things he's leaving out, and there's a lot of laughter, it seems like. When I'm friends with some of the surviving victims of this man, he's the wealthiest serial killer in American history. And I'm friends with Kathy Durst's family, and some of them are very upset that there's a lot of laughter going on in the courtroom. They're wrestling over a gun, the prosecutor, and they put the gun into Robert Durst's hand during the trial. I mean, it's kind of outrageous, laughing about Morris Black's murder, and so it was pretty discouraging to see that. They're not taking it really seriously as everybody thought they would. So they're trying to humanize him to the jury, and he's a consummate liar. So I'm kind of disappointed how it's going, but I think the jury's fed up and probably has heard enough of his lies and inconsistencies, and I think he'll be convicted. So I hope he does. I hope he is.
Where can we get your book?
It's available at williamsteeleauthor.com, and it's also available on Amazon. And Nancy Grace covered it on one of her podcasts about the Durst case. So Westchester County News had it up there recently. I've been written about in the National Enquirer even a few weeks ago again. I went out to the trial. I spent my own money to advocate for the victims and for Kathy Durst. I just hope he gets convicted. He's killed many people, and it's time that he's held accountable. He's tortured these people with his millions of dollars for 40 years. He's kept them in the dark, and I was one of the people that really came forward to expose a lot of things he's done, and it seems like there's a cover-up when it comes to parts of his family because they're so wealthy that nobody wants to mention them or touch them, but they were part of the cover-up in Kathy's murder, so which is his first wife. So,
do you think, I hate to say this because I know his health is failing, but do you think he'll live through the trial?
I think so. I think they were talking about when they're getting ready to do deliberations in mid-September. I think so. I think he will. He's a coward. He's a coward. He won't kill himself, so he should just plea and pay the victim's families money for all these years of heartache that he's put them through. And Kathy Durst's body is still missing. I talk about that in the book and how he told me some things about its location and his plans to kill Susan Berman. He came to me and other people beforehand with his plans and desire to have her killed so that she couldn't be a witness against him in New York for the Kathy Durst murder. So, a lot of things they're not hearing, I don't think, the jury. I don't know if he's going to be allowed to bring them up in closing arguments. But I think Lewin's doing a pretty good job. I think the laughter should be cut out of this trial altogether. I think it's inappropriate. The judge and the attorneys and the prosecutor laughing about wrestling over a gun where a man was murdered. What if his family was watching? How would you feel? So I know for a fact after talking to Kathy Durst's family, some of them were not thrilled about that. So
Courtney wants to know, is he the one who admitted it through the microphone in the bathroom?
Right. He's the one that was profiled at HBO, The Jinx, and he's admitted it to several other people. I recorded conversations with him, so he's admitted it to several people. So if he doesn't get convicted, it's only because they wore the jury out with a year and a half long trial. And, they put him on the stand, and he's poor me, I'm feeble, I'm frail. I couldn't have done this. But if you notice, if you guys are following the trial, he's tripping all over himself. Lewin's probably called him out on hundreds of lies already. Directly putting up the lie where he said it, and he contradicts himself on the stand, and then he's real sharp-minded on other questions. He'll be very, very articulate and sharp, but on key things about, timing with Kathy and with Susan and where he was, I don't recall saying it that way. I don't recall. So I think any, juror who's paying attention will convict them.
When you're not chasing Durst and writing, what do you do for fun?
What do I do? I'm starring in a TV show that's going to air on a major network very soon. I'm under contract, so I can't discuss what network, but it's a major network that airs a lot of true crime. It's going to be about my life and my books. I also work for a public relations firm, Transmedia Group, in Boca Raton, Florida, representing other people's projects and ideas, books. So I'm working in PR. I'm working on a TV show. I'm putting out a Ghislaine Maxwell book soon. So I have quite a few things going on. I actually did time. I figured I'd be kicked off this platform because I'm probably one of the few that's actually done time, and I was very nervous about getting involved with this because I actually served time. But I've turned my life around, and now I write books advocating for the victims of violent crime. I was in prison for a series of nonviolent crimes because of a cocaine problem years ago. But in the process of that, and years ago, I was involved with many high-level crimes and people in Palm Beach and New York City, where I'm from. So now I write books about it. A lot of them were in trouble in the media, and I have many friends in law enforcement right now that support me in what I'm doing. And so I'm just happy to be part of this crime headquarters. And like I said, I've been locked up, so I'm getting used to using the technology. It's kind of tough for me. My fiance helps me with the technology, but I spent my time productively taking university courses and writing books. So that's what I do.
And we love that you are here. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
And Claire's already read your book, so she said love your book. So thank you so much for sharing everything with us.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody. Thank you.